What's going on, everybody? It's Two Chains from the Big O Belt Wrestling Podcast, along with my comrade Jamal. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Jamal is off site right now, and he's being humble in public, so excuse his lack of energy.
I'm still not wearing pants though, so it's okay.
But everybody should know by now, if you've been listening to the show for over the year, when Mike King joins us, that means there's got to be something exciting going on this weekend. So, Mike, what's going on, man?
I'm living the dream, guys. What's going on with y'all?
You know, just ready to get. I've been hyped, so we'll just put that there. But I'm ready to let people who aren't feeling the type of energy that I'm feeling, why they need to be in the building this Friday. So again, Mike King from Nova Pro Wrestling is here, the co-founder and promoter of the promotion, and we're back for American Slang 2017. I mean, me and Jamal, before we got on the air, we was looking at the 2016 card and was talking about how amazing it was. But you know, you start thinking about, like, how do you top that? I mean, the headlining match was Cedric Alexander versus Chet Sterling, but you know, you come back harder this year, and you got a red hot Logan Easton LaRoux, the Commonwealth Cup champion. I mean,
the only Commonwealth Cup champion ever.
Arguably the biggest heel in the promotion right now, versus your Ultra J champion Chet Sterling in a ladder match.
I wouldn't say that he's a heel. I would say that Logan's misunderstood.
Okay, fair enough. But you all did yourself again. So, you know, let's talk about this card a little bit. First of all, for anybody who's not familiar, again, we're back at the JCC, which is at 8900 Little River Turnpike in Fairfax, Virginia. Doors open at 7:30, bells at 8. Tickets are still available. Make sure you check out Nova Pro's Facebook page and at VA Wrestling on Twitter. Also follow Mike at VA Gent Mike on Twitter as well too. But this is a really sexy card, like big names all over the place, and even with some, you know, configuring of the card a little bit, changing from people having to drop out, this is still really a super impressive card.
Yeah. You know, when we looked at the calendar year last year, American Slang ended up being one of our biggest events of the year last year, and we wanted to keep the tradition alive. Every July, we want to kind of do what I like to call our tribute to the Great American Bash, American Slang. And this year, I think we absolutely outdid ourselves. It is probably one of, if not the most stacked Nova Pro cards in history. We already touched on the first ever ladder match in Nova Pro history headlining the event. And, you know, I was telling Dan on Hell in a Cell Talk Radio the other day, you look up and down this card and you're kind of surprised after reading each match that you realize it's not even the main event. This is a night of main events in a way. This is the summer super card, and I absolutely can't wait.
That's true. That's absolutely true. I mean, from our previous shows over the month, I mean, we had Bro Crockett join us and Innocent Isaiah, and we emphasized a lot on that match, which was later announced officially that it was going to happen. You know, we kind of speculated that we're going to run into each other at some point, but that match is absolutely official and it is happening. But when you take the storyline and one of the hottest tag teams in Nova Pro and everything that's happened between them over this year, it's I thought that was going to be the absolutely most dazzling match, considering everything that's brought into it. But I don't know. Then I started looking down, and we got Donst versus David Starr with a title versus title match. I mean, what happens there? Like, I really don't know where to go with this one, for real. This is freaking insane. So I don't. I know Jamal has a lot of points too. But I just don't know where to go here with this card. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Again, tickets are still available. Make sure you check out all of Nova Pro's social media sites and get your tickets now. Jamal.
Yeah. Now, I was thinking about, obviously, Cutie and the Beast. We had them on a couple weeks ago. And for that match, it's Crockett versus Isaiah. And it's what the interesting thing is, even over the ladder match, even over Donst versus David Starr, the Isaiah versus Crockett is a blood feud at this point. Are you prepared for the ramifications of a match like this? Because I think that this may be the most hardcore match on the card, and that's saying something since you have the ladder match involved. What does this match mean to you, Mike, as guys that have come in and kind of made their name in Nova Pro and really became a thing over in Nova Pro, and now they're going at it for the first time this Friday?
It's kind of heartbreaking because you look at everything that Nova Pro has been about over the past close to 2 years now. Cutie and the Beast were the first homegrown Nova Pro act. It was the first thing that had completely originated from a Nova Pro event. It's the first pairing that you saw at Nova Pro that you couldn't see anywhere else. And I don't know why Bo Crockett did what he did. I'm not going to speculate why Bo Crockett did what he did, but it is kind of odd when you look at this match, and it's a grudge match, and you like you said, it can go all over the building. It can get wild and crazy like we expected to, but Bo Crockett and Innocent Isaiah have spent their entire careers in Nova Pro as a tag team, essentially. There are 4 guys that have been on every single Nova Pro event, and Bo Crockett and Innocent Isaiah are 2 of them, and they've only ever had 1 singles match in Nova Pro, and they both lost their 1 singles match in Nova Pro history. So not only is this a blood feud, these are 2 guys looking to take the next step in their career, looking to branch out as singles competitors this Friday night in Fairfax.
Now, I hate to speculate because, well, I love to speculate, but I actually hate to bring it up. But the boys, Thing 1 and Thing 2, were looking for a tag team. They said it on Twitter. And the first thing that came to my mind was, well, I wonder what Isaiah's doing. So I think that will be very cool looking forward. But what do you think his chances are of making it past Friday night?
I say never underestimate Isaiah. I mean, we saw how dirty he could get in that street fight with the Carnies that led to the split. We saw him nearly break his neck in a Survivor Series match last November of Paradise with Dashboard Light. This is a guy that keeps getting knocked down and getting back up. This is a guy that has no quit. So, you look at Bo Crockett. Yeah, he's got the size advantage. He's got the Carnies watching his back, but he's the one that backed down from Isaiah last month at High Fidelity. Yep. So I think maybe Isaiah's in Bo's head a little bit here.
I would have to agree. Let's talk about making their first time in Nova Pro. You have the Ugly Ducklings versus the Gymnasty Boys. Tell us about them.
The Ugly Ducklings are a tag team that are becoming one of the top tag teams on the independent scene right now. They come to us from our sister promotion down in Charlotte, North Carolina, PWX. They are former PWX tag team champions. They are also former Rockstar Pro tag team champions, and recently made it to the finals of IWA Mid-South's tag team tournament. So they have a lot of tag team accolades on their record right now. Gymnasty Boys, featuring Timmy Retton, who has made an appearance in Nova Pro Wrestling before, and White Mike Jordan. These 2 guys, I know a lot about Timmy Retton. I know a lot about White Mike as singles competitors. I have honestly seen very little of their tag team as the Gymnasty Boys. This is purely on a recommendation, honestly. And I'm pretty excited to see what these 2 tag teams bring to the table in this matchup. These 2, I just recently found out, have had 2 other encounters on the scene right now. And on the first encounter, the Ugly Ducklings defeated the Gymnasty Boys. And in the second encounter, the Gymnasty Boys defeated the Ugly Ducklings. So this is kind of a tiebreaker, kind of a rubber match here in Fairfax.
And this brings me back to my initial love for Nova Pro. 2 tag teams, 4 people. I'm not familiar with any of them, but it's the intrigue because of how spectacular this card is that I know at the end of the day we will be talking about them, and it's the glory of Nova Pro.
Absolutely.
One other thing I want to go back to as well. So for the title versus title match, initially it was just for one title, and it appears some Twitter has been an influential part in Nova Pro over the last month from Twitter battles between competitors. But this was new to me. I mean, Tim Donst requested this, and it reads that the Nova Pro officials along as well as the WXW Germany and Absolute Intense Wrestling all got together to make this happen. I mean, what type of conversations do you have here to make something like this happen?
The interesting thing about this match in particular is that it actually started with no titles on the line. And what happened was on his last tour of Germany, David Starr won the WXW Shotgun title, and this is his third reign with the title. And his previous reigns, he would go to the United States and defend that title in every match that he was in as champion on the independent scene. So he wanted to do the very same during this reign. So he talked to me, he talked to Felix from WXW, and we made it happen for the WXW Shotgun title. He was going to defend it against Tim Donst. Well, as everyone saw, Tim being the kind of competitor he is, he's a champion. He has a pretty prestigious title on the independent scene, the AIW Absolute title. And we have a pretty good relationship with AIW. Two of their students, Alex Daniels and Dominic Guarini, have made appearances in Nova Pro. We've had a really good relationship. Myself and John Thorne have become pretty good friends during this whole indie wrestling thing. And we talked about it, and we said, you know what, we can really do something special here. So we put two of the biggest titles on the independent scene worldwide, not just in America, on the line in the same match. And here's an interesting little thing that I didn't even realize until our commentator Kevin Ford pointed it out to me. David Starr has never wrestled for AIW, and Tim Donst has never wrestled for WXW Germany.
I was just going to say something about that, but continue.
So this is interesting, and not just the sense that, one guy is going to walk out with two belts, but one guy is going to walk out with a new job too. So,
oh man, I mean, the implications of that, it would be hard.
And the other thing is, in 2 weeks, AIW has their biggest show of the year, Absolution, and they have not announced the Absolute title match for that. So,
oh man, yeah. So
Tim has a lot on the line. Yeah, man, it's going to be pretty nuts to see how the reverberations of what Nova Pro does around the world. But I do want to ask you, Mike, about we have Bo Crockett, we have Innocent Isaiah, David Starr, and Tim Donst is going to be awesome. Angela's Lane, who's not really a people person, but that's fine. She's going to be taking on Brittany Blake, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Because Taylor Hendricks unfortunately couldn't make it. Is it just me, or does Angela Lane seem to be a bit? It's kind of like a reverse psychology thing, where she wants you to like her, but she actually, puts on this facade. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe
no,
I'm losing here.
She's just like that. She's just a nasty person, honestly.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt, but
I'll never say she's not a good. I'll never say she can't get it done in the ring, because she's a great wrestler, but terrible human being all around.
It's a shame that that the ring announcer Brian did not take her up on the offer to step in as their opponent before Brittany Blake was announced. I thought that would have been announced. That would have been outstanding.
I mean, but you're the one that has to pay to see it, so.
I would have.
Another match on this card, you have John Kerman versus Rory Goulet. Now, John Kerman is undefeated in singles competition this year. Very impressive. Underratedly getting it done in the ring. He's 50-50 with the crowd because some people may not like his grappling, MMA background, but he's defeated some impressive people recently, just coming off of a victory over his name's slipping my head right now.
Fred Yehi.
Fred Yehi, yes. But you're like, okay, Fred Yehi, he beats him, that has to give him some credibility. It does. But Rory Goulet is just coming out of the victory from the JKI, which is the Jimmy Kim Invitational, which is a Taekwondo tournament. This evens the playing field automatically now, because he's facing somebody with another style of MMA background. What's your thoughts on this match going forward?
The interesting thing about this match is just to shed a little personal light on it. Rory Goulet and I kind of grew up together in wrestling. For those of you who don't know, Rory Goulet used to sit in the front row at CZW shows in 2001, 2002, and used to cosplay as Sick Nick Mondo, and people would call him Little Mondo. And me and him, we were around the same age at that point. So I was going to CZW shows every month, so we kind of palled around a lot. So this is kind of like a cool little thing that we got to do here, where I got to bring him into Nova Pro Wrestling for the first time. And it's not just he's my friend from back in the day or whatever. This is well deserved for Rory Goulet. Like you said, he's just coming off winning the JKI. In that tournament, he defeated Zack Sabre Jr. in the second round. Zack Sabre Jr. is probably the best technical wrestler in the world right now. And Rory Goulet defeated him clean in the ring at Chikara. Not only that, but he's going against John Kerman, Capital MMA specialist. And I'm really intrigued to see how this match plays out. I'm really intrigued to see, you say a lot of people don't like the grappling and stuff sometimes, but for those people that do, this is the kind of match that you're going to love. And, that I like to touch on the people that don't like the grappling. That's what Nova Pro is about. If you don't like the grappling, you might like the ugly ducklings. You might like Angelus and Bernie Blake. You might like the ladder match. We try to be a buffet. We try to give you a little bit of everything here.
You guys had a mime last month. I mean, I thought I saw everything, but
yeah, you had a mime versus
you had a mime and a zombie dragon. I mean, who knows who's going to show up?
Not to mention, and I'm sorry, I'm just now being aware of this. The Nova Pro likes a box of chocolate. Life is like a box of chocolate. We'll be airing tonight, and you're going to be doing live commentary.
So what we're going to do is, if you pick up Nova Pro's Life is Like a Box of Chocolates from Smart Mark Video right now, we're going to start it at exactly 7 p.m. And myself, several members of the roster, I know Bobby Shields, Bo Crockett, Innocent Isaiah, and a few other members of the roster and the staff will be live tweeting it along with you. You can follow along the conversation at #NovaBOC. And if you check out the show tonight, it starts right at 7. It'll be over at 9 p.m. You can catch NXT on the replay. You can catch CWF Worldwide, whatever is your usual Wednesday night lineup right there, right after.
That was an impressive show. Very, very, very good show. The fans will not be disappointed on that. Still moving forward, talking about American Slang 2017. So this is, I saw this announced yesterday, and I immediately had questions. Eric Royal, as it is announced, is looking to run the 1% Gauntlet this Friday, and if he wins, he goes on to face Logan Easton LaRoux on September 22nd for Nova Project 3. Can you explain to me what is this 1% Gauntlet?
So the 1% Gauntlet is basically Eric Royal is going to go into the ring, and Logan Easton LaRoux and whatever his lackeys may be this month, whether it's Bobby Shields or Alexander James or Ed Dow or whoever, he's going to send them one by one to go up against Eric. And if Eric can beat them all this Friday night in one sitting, he will go one-on-one with Logan Easton LaRoux on September 22nd at the biggest show of the year, the Anniversary Supercard, Nova Project 3. And you got to imagine this means a lot to Eric that he's willing to go through all these hoops, because if you look at Eric Royal's record, He's beaten Chris Hero. He's beaten Donovan Dijak. He's beaten Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, David Starr, Fred Yehi. You name him, he beat him. But he didn't beat Logan Easton LaRoux. He didn't win the Commonwealth Cup. And that eats at him every time he comes to Nova Pro Wrestling, because he knows that even if he wins tonight, he is still that number and one in Nova Pro Wrestling. And he's looking to avenge that loss. So this is what he has to do. He has to beat all of Logan's lackeys, all the members of the 1% in one night to get his match with Logan Easton LaRoux.
I mean, let's talk about this really quick. As a fan, I have to say that Eric Royal was steaming hot, had the fans behind him and everything. But when he lost that one match, all the momentum was sucked out of the air. So not only does he get a chance to revenge the one, he also gets a chance to also win back the fans that was rooting behind him. And I really, really honestly feel that his one loss, people betrayed him. He didn't get the usual like pop that he usually gets. So I think there's a lot to
be fair, that's what happens when reality sets in. You have a guy like Eric Royal, and no one will argue that he's not a great competitor. But you know what he's not? He's not the best. He's not one of the 1% of the top competitors in Nova Pro. And you know who that guy is. Well, that guy's going to climb a ladder on Friday, pull that nice shiny Ultra J title, and add that to the mantelpiece next to the Nova Pro Commonwealth Cup. The only champion of the Commonwealth ever. So it's not that Eric Royal can't get it done. And I think on 1,000 days, if he had 1,000 tries, he could lucky once. But today is not that day. So good for him. Good for him for trying. Gold star Eric Royal. But he's not in that gated community. He doesn't get to cross that line. He gets to stop across the street and look and wonder and hope. But I don't think he can get there.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. Sahara 7 is making her debut against a very, very popular and successful Faye Jackson. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
Yeah, she is actually a Virginia, bred female competitor. The weird thing about Nova Pro sometimes is that, sometimes there's a lack of people from Virginia on the roster, to be honest. We do try to bring, the best wrestlers in the world, but sometimes we don't show enough love to our area, I think, anyways. So now we have Sahara 7, who's been making waves all over the state, making waves all over the Commonwealth, and she's going up against Faye Jackson, who, you talk about how her popularity and stuff. She hasn't gotten it done in a one-on-one singles match yet. She made her first win last month in a tag match, but she still hasn't, really found her footing in a singles match. So here's her chance to kind of, get her first singles win and maybe, show Veda Scott that she can get it done one-on-one in the ring. And not only that, here's Sahara 7's chance to kind of, knock off somebody who is gaining some popularity in Nova Pro and kind of make a statement of her own on her first night.
Indeed. You're right too, because I was like, didn't she beat Brittany Blake? But no, Brittany Blake beat her with I remember a double foot stomp from the top rope over, which was a really impressive win too, because Faye Jackson, I mean, she's absolutely a fan favorite, and at some point she's gonna have to understand that just being a fan favorite doesn't get it done in the ring. You're gonna have to do the work. But I look forward to this match, absolutely. And finally, another interesting match, and I would like for you definitely to elaborate on this. As it states, a feud is renewed for longtime rivals as they collide for the first time at Nova Pro. You have Lucha Underground star Matt Cross versus the Global Force Wrestling or Impact Wrestling, whatever your TV shows, the godfather of Nova Pro, Sonjay Dutt, who is the Impact Wrestling X Division champion. Can you elaborate on this rivalry?
So these two guys in 2004 had probably one of my favorite and what many people consider one of the greatest independent wrestling matches of all time at CZW's Cage of Death 6. If you've never seen it, please go on Smart Mark Video. Please go on CZW Studios, High Spots, whatever you use, and find that match and witness the street fight that these two had nearly 13 years ago in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They tore the roof off of that building. There was a guy in the building that I knew very well that had been in that building for nearly every ECW event in that building and said it was the most brutal match he had ever seen in his life. So that goes to show you the kind of rivalry they had. And that rivalry had been brewing for about a year. And I know neither of these guys are over it. This is a feud with 13 years of seasoning. These are two wrestlers with 13 years of seasoning. These are two wrestlers that are arguably at their very best right now. These are two guys that may have been in the game since 1999, but I don't think they've ever been as good as they are now. And that goes for either one of them. Sonjay Dutt obviously coming off a huge X Division title win. Matt Cross killing it on Lucha Underground. These two guys going head-to-head for the first time in a Nova Pro ring for the first time in a long time. And I absolutely can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but unofficially, this Friday show needs to be called American Slang 2017, the card of main events, because that's all this is. I mean, arguably, looking at Stardom right there, that could be your main event, you know? Oh man, Jamal, you have anything to add?
Well, it's hard to pick a main event when the card is so stacked, and we're going to be there early for the pre-show because we're hosting it. Pre-shows at the JCC. We're going to get down there 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And, kick things off online or on the YouTube and Nova Pro's YouTube channel. So please check us out for that. And I haven't been to a Nova Pro show in about 3 months for a number of different reasons. And finally, I'm able to go and see things in person. It's just not the same reading it online or hearing it secondhand. And can't wait to see you guys Friday.
Absolutely. Again, make sure right now, anybody who's listening, and I will be saying this on this show, I'll be saying it tomorrow. Take 5 seconds out of your life, step over to YouTube, and subscribe to Nova Pro's YouTube channel. Click that notification bell, and come help us as we get the pre-show going at 6 o'clock p.m. live from the JCC, which is again 8900 Little River Turnpike in Fairfax, Virginia. 22003. Again, the doors open up at 7:30. Belltime is at 8. Tickets are still available over at you can check them out at VA Wrestling on Twitter, Nova Pro Wrestling on Facebook. Get your tickets, and as you make your commute over to the JCC, listen to us as we really get you prepared, let you know what to expect, and some good tunes until you get there.
It's going to be a good time because tomorrow we have a lot to cover. We just have so much to cover.
Yeah.
And then we'll definitely be talking about Nova Pro as well because I'm going to be looking at the Twitter. I'm at a movie theater right now, if you can't hear. But after the show's over, I'm definitely going to be on the Twitter and checking out what life is like at Boston Chocolates, the live tweeting sessions going on. So hopefully I'll be able to catch some of that.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed that you wasn't able to make it, but I know for whatever, for the reasons you couldn't. But I mean, fans, again, make sure you check out the life. I'm getting so tongue-tied. The Nova Pro's Life is Like a Box of Chocolate show. The live tweeting is starting at 7. You can get the video at Smart Mark Video, and you don't want to miss that. And we definitely don't want to miss this show this Friday. I mean, we went down the card, maybe missed about 3 other matches that's going to happen. And I'm still just don't know which one single match I want to be excited for because this card is so stacked. For $20 for general admission, $25 front row. I mean, it's a steal.
Front row's nearly sold out. So
yeah, I think it's sold out as of now, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
At this card, Mike, I'm surprised the prices are still the same. You would
don't give him any ideas.
Mike, before we let you go for the day, anything else you want to add?
That's you guys pretty much covered it. Don't forget to check us out for the live tweet at 7 p.m. Don't forget to go to novaprowrestling.tumblr.com to pick up your tickets. Like we said, front row is sold out, but general admission is still plenty available. GA will also be available at the door on Friday night. And also, I will like to point out that our August 18th return to the Annandale Volunteer Fire Department the front row tickets for that event are 25% sold out with nothing announced. So you might want to jump on those tickets as well if you have the means.
Oh man. Well, I mean, you if you basically follow the trend of no approach, the cars only get better and better. So you look at this one, you can only speculate that it's going to be even better, you know. But you know, Jamal, do you have any closing remarks before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, it feels like I've missed so much over the last 3 months missing shows, and I can't wait to see you guys Friday night. Long live the 1%. Logan retains. Logan will be your new hashtag and new ... Ultra J champion. I'm calling it right now. You're welcome. But yeah, man, see you guys Friday. See you, Mike, and can't wait to see you guys again.
And to everybody listening, thanks for tuning in. Again, make sure you give a shout out to us. On Friday, we'll be doing the pre-show, so make sure you step over to the YouTube channel and subscribe so you can get a notification as soon as we start live. And we will make sure we bring you in to the JCC, knowing everything about the show, getting you really hyped so you can see one heck of a show that night. Mike, thanks again for taking time out to help us promote the show. And everybody, we'll see you Friday.
See ya.